What is up, guys? Orbital-Pilot back here once again in the world of Warthunder. This time we're taking the sky in the F9F5. Really, a first impressions. Now, I know you may look down and say, well, this video is actually fairly short. It's only going to be about 7 minutes. But this was the second match I ever took this plane out into. The first one went decently well, but I did not like the frame rate, and God, do I hate Sicily just with a burning passion. So I didn't want to put that up as the first, but this is the second match that I ever played. So let's get right into the combat and how I feel about, well, the F9F. So pull ahead on with a MiG-17, not the wisest decision, but in all reality, none of us really want to stick to that head-on. Me, of course, I'll be a little bit more willing because I do have 4 20mm cannons, and people feel differently about these cannons. I personally love them. I love the shotgun effect because it means I really don't have to aim that well to tear apart planes. But it also means I waste massive amounts of ammo. If you're a fan of precision, you will not like these cannons. Not to say that these cannons are not super inaccurate, they just have quite a large bullet spread at distance. So MiG-15 attacking my F2H2, I decided to go for him. Now, this plane does have WEP. And when you turn WEP on, wow, it really is like turning on wartime emergency power. It is absolutely stunningly insane, the engine performance difference between WEP and just 100% throttle. But keep in mind, you really only have about 30 seconds to a minute of WEP. I didn't time it, probably should have, but you don't have a lot of it, so keep that in mind. Really only use it in very desperate combat situations. So MiG-15 pulls up. I thought he was going to go for a full roll. He does, however, I do not act quick enough. And sadly enough, do not get the shots on target. And keep in mind, this is the second match I've ever played, so I'm still a little bit rusty. Now, I was quite lucky there not to get taken out by that 17. But one thing I'm noticing about this plane so far is that although its top speed is not that good, its acceleration is quite decent. So it's really not that bad as is really kind of a mix between an energy fighter and kind of, I wouldn't say a turn fighter, but a definite dogfighter for sure. So MiG-17 pulls back up. He's going to try to go for a head-on. I'm not having any of that, though, today. Instead, roll over. Now, here's the scary thing. MiG-17 will outperform me in pretty much every single way possible, so I really have to be sure to not mess up too bad. Now, MiG-15 pulls up. However, he pulls up at probably the worst possible time he could, and I just shred his plane. And that's what I'm talking about. If you can get close with these cannons do insane amounts of damage. In some ways, I feel like a little bit more than the F2 Sabre sometimes. Now, of course, two very different cannons. Of course, the F2 Sabres are far more advanced. But don't take these cannons too jokingly, because they will absolutely rip you into one. So MiG-17, 2 MiG-17s actually still up. I really cannot find the rest of these people. Now, you'll see that this match ends a little prematurely because of my insanely bad luck. But you know what? As kind of a first impressions, I do like to upload either the first or second time I've ever taken out the plane, just because right now I have no idea how to fly this plane. And so really, in kind of a weird way, I'm putting it into really bad situations. And doing that kind of gives me an idea for how the plane will react, of course, and of course to you guys. And of course, if you guys are, well, you guys probably are, but if you guys have flown out this plane and have any tips for me, let me know, because I do want to do a full review on it, because, well, it's the F9F. It's an amazing plane. So MiG-17 pulls back around now. Right here, if I was a little bit of a better shot, this guy would have been toast. Sadly enough, he pulls some rolling scissors, try to follow him, and I just could not get guns on target. Now right here, I was scared from the other MiG, and so I pulled off. That's kind of why I did not continue engaging, which was a dumb decision on my part in the end. But now I have a MiG-17 going one way. There's nothing I can ever do to catch that guy, and a MiG-17 going the other way. So yeah, there's really nothing I can do. I will never ever catch those guys in a straight line, ever, and I will, unless they choose to engage, I will never catch them. So simply turn around instead. It's really the only thing you can do in this situation. Right now, if I was continued to follow, not only would they end up faster than me, but I would end up by their base, and I would literally have every single disadvantage stacked against me. So, really, the first impressions of the of this plane, its acceleration is quite decent. It has 420 millimeter cannons, so of course it really doesn't get better than that, unless 430s. That would be better. But amazing guns. I really like the maneuverability, and I really like the engine performance on WEP. Now, of course, once you get to those higher speeds, it's a little bit lackluster, but from that 200 to 500 mile an hour range, it seems to really shine. So keep that in mind. So far, I'm kind of using it as an energy fighter, a little bit of a dogfighter. And by dogfighter, I kind of mean just really make some maneuvers, some turns along into energy fighting. And so that's what I find this plane is really useful for. So, of course, I will have a full review coming up, but let's get back into the gameplay. Now, right there, I have never, guys, I have flown hundreds and hundreds, and probably actually, I've flown thousands and thousands and thousands of matches in Warthunder. I'm not sure if I've ever actually been hit by a AAA car. Ever. Not only did he hit me, but he took out pretty much my entire left wing and pretty much killed my engine and oil pressure. So, try to pull into the MiG-17 for a head-on. Luckily enough, luckily enough for him, he's a decent pilot, decides not to turn in. But really right here, I was still impressed with what I was able to do with the plane. So pull up straight vertical. This MiG-17 pilot was really good. So he knows what he's doing. I don't know what I'm doing in this plane. In the F2, it might have been a different story, but try to follow him in, and if I just had maybe 50, 60 miles an hour, a little bit more of speed, I would have been able to. So try to turn in, but like I said, those MiG-17s are just going to outperform you and everything. So guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you like what you saw, hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.